Everyone, welcome to our last and final session for EDUC 2130, session number 7. Let's go ahead and walk through our welcome video, starting off with the course plan and just seeing what is due and when. So here we go. Beginning in session 7, so everything closes on July the 23rd on Monday. You have a session 7 Flipgrid post plus a response, in addition to 3 review quizzes, and then your last and final field activity, which is observe an educator or interview an educator. So for this, I'll talk more about this in just a few minutes, but if you decide to observe an educator, I have 4 videos I want you to watch. You can't just go out and pick any teacher that you want to go watch. I have 4 specific videos. If you want to interview an educator, that is on your own. You need to find somebody, a teacher that is on vacation or whatever, administrator that you can talk to about that. So either or is fine, not both. But let's go ahead and look at the objectives. We're going to be looking at the ripple effect, also Jacob Koonin, who's another kind of theorist, educational theorist, and his classroom management techniques, which overflow into any type of classroom, which you'll see. In addition to characteristics of effective teachers, what makes a teacher effective, which makes them good at what they do. And then we're also going to be looking at a Filipino teacher and her journey to school every day. So just a little bit more about that and the word commitment. So here are the activities that I'm going to walk you through a little bit more and show you. Well, let's start out with some readings. So reading pages 415 and 417 begin right here in monitoring students' behavior. This is a Koonin theory. So go ahead and look at all of this material. In addition, there's a video that is some supplementary information that will pull off of this particular chapter. And then this is Jacob Koonin for physical educators. So you can see how this theory actually translates into any classroom. So I know you're not going to be PE teachers, but all of these terminologies, you can see kind of how they flow into one another. Then you'll move into review 7.1, moving down into 7.2. So there's a video here, the Georgia Standards of Excellence. You looked at these back in session number 5, where you had to look at standards for your grade level. So if you want more information about that, I mentioned that in the video. Also another video here to watch. Habits of Effective Teachers. This is a really great video, article from Edutopia of what makes a teacher effective. And then characteristics of Harvard. Move into review 7.2, the field activity, which I'll get into in just a moment, and then wrapping up. So 7.3, you need to go ahead and click on this article. That will explain the video that's here, because this video is not in English. So you need to click on the article and read that first to understand what's going on in the video. Finally, go into review 7.3 based on those 2 links there, and then finish out with your Flipgrid post. But let's go ahead and look at your Flipgrid first. So Flipgrid is session number 7. Based on the 2 lecture videos, the ones that I voice narrated, 7.2, what specific characteristics of effective educators do you think are most important or you plan to work towards in your future classroom or clinic? So based on the ones that I've given you, which ones really strike a chord with you as to what you want to be or what you can be like? Give me some examples of how you think you associate with those particular characteristics. Not just, well, I think I'm outgoing. What are some examples of your personality or whatever? I'll also share an example of an effective educator from K-12, so anywhere in your grade level schooling or at the university, of your teacher or professor that has exhibited these particular characteristics. So certainly include that as well in your Flipgrid post. Also remember to respond to one other person, at least a minute or so. Connecting with them in some way is important for a classroom community. But let's go back to the final field activity. So I have them listed here. Let's start off with observing an educator. So again, this is not something you can do on your own. I want you to specifically look and watch these videos. So this is an 8th grade literature video. This is a 2nd grade social studies video. This is an elementary physical education video, and this is a middle school health lesson. So you're going to watch all of those videos, and based on those observations, you're going to go ahead and write your response. So describing, answer all of these questions in here, reacting, how do you feel about it, analyzing, conclusion, there's 2. Make sure you answer all those questions. There is no limit what I'm looking for, but I do want thorough responses, and to know that you watched every single one of the videos and not just, one video or parts of the other one. So I will be looking for key things in all the videos, so make sure that you jot those things down as to the effective strategies, okay? So watching all those videos. Now, if you choose not to observe an educator, you can interview an educator. And again, more than one would be ideal, but if you have one, that's okay too. So here are some questions to ask them. Describe the teacher clinician, tell me what they do, where they work, how long they've been practicing professional, etc. And then, of course, talking about management routines, activity routines, instructional, executive planning. We learned about all of these in our curriculum. And then, of course, specific ones, describe them in detail, more than just, well, this is what I do every morning. Well, tell me in detail, what do you actually do? Your feelings and reaction to this field activity, value judgment, conclusions, etc. If you need to go back to the stages of reflection, again, this is what I'm looking for. That will show up in the rubric. So make sure you answer your response, your field activity in detail. Okay, that's all listed right here. And as always, if you click on the actual rubrics, it will take you to all of those. And so I'd encourage you to actually look at, it's not working for me right now, but I encourage you to look at effective educator rubric and interview educator rubric. Those are important. That's what I evaluate your response from. So if you want full credit, have a look at those rubrics. They would be in your best interest. All in all, guys, thank you for a great semester. I hope you learned a lot. I know it was condensed, and know it was a lot, but you did well and you did awesome. And here we go for fall semester. So happy rest of your summer. If you have questions or concerns, feel free to let me know. Thanks, guys.